Hi there and welcome to the video. My name's Gareth and today I'm going to show you how to add a little bit more dimension to a shot like this using the blur gallery in Photopea. So I'll start off by making a duplicate of this background layer. So I'll just click on the layer itself and press Control or Command J, depending on if you're on a PC or a Mac, to duplicate the layer. Then I'm going to right click on the layer. I'm going to choose Convert to Smart Object. And that'll just make sure that the changes I do are non-destructive and I can go back in and tweak them later. So for this effect, what I want to do is to exaggerate the out of focus areas to the side of the face to really draw your eye into the middle of the image. And we can go to Filter at the top, go down to Blur Gallery and go to the Tilt Shift Blur. Now I'll explain quickly what this is doing. So if we look at the top in the option bar, you've got just ignore that, sorry. You've got the tilt shift, which is the type of blur we've just selected. You've got a toggle on or off, just like a preview. And then we've got the blur radius, but I'll leave that at 20 for the moment. So as you can see on the screen, we've got this row of dots. We've got a middle dot, which is the center of the blur. Two dots either side of that, which represent the beginning of the blurred portion, and then two dots on the outer edge, which represent the end of the blur portion. And on any of these, if you click and you move it around, you can rotate the whole thing. So as we want the blur to go horizontally on this, I want to get them like this, so the lines are vertical. So if we start in the middle, so we've got the dot roughly in the center of her nose, so we know that it's central to the face. And what we want to do now is just start by bringing the outside dots just away a bit so we can start to see what's happening. So as you can see here, the blur is starting where those just off center points are, and it's gradually moving across and getting its most blurry by the outside points. So by the outside point, the blur is reaching 20 pixels of radius. So as you can see, that's no good because the eyes are all starting to go out of focus and the only bit that's in focus really is the nose. So what we need to do is these points that are just off center where the blur starts, we need to move those to the point on our image where we don't want any blur to be at all, because everything between the center point and that is going to be completely in focus. And then between that point and the outer point is where your blur is going to be faded between. So if you consider the area between the middle dot and the first dots to be your kind of your safe zone, your 100% in focus zone, and then it feathers off between these 2 points. And if we bring these 2 points close together, then you can see there's quite an abrupt transition from completely in focus to the 20 pixels of blur, of radius of blur we got here, which looks very unnatural. So you want to take the blur, move them further apart to get a bit more of a natural kind of transition. And now you can go further with this to make even more of the side of the face in focus. I mean, this isn't a true this isn't like a true depth of field kind of blur, because it would be a little bit more sort of 3D than this. However, this is quite a good way to get an effect, enhance an effect on a portrait shot like this, or any kind of shot with fairly linear areas that go out of focus. It's a really good way to sort of enhance that. So if we just click the preview on and off, you can see we've not done a huge amount, but what we have done is just blur the areas at the side of the image, the hair and the ears a bit more, and then into the background, just creating a little bit more focus on the face. And we can pull these points in a bit so they just go into the eye a little bit more, which is just going to start blurring the area between the corner of the eye and where we've put these outer points a little bit more. Now, to show you what happens if we change the radius, we'll just go here and we'll drag it up to something quite high. And you'll see as I'm dragging it in real time, it very quickly just goes to ridiculous levels, which obviously is really not usable for something like this. But if you want to get into some kind of strange effects or like a real smoky, ethereal kind of look, then you can crank the blur right up on this blur gallery options and get some real crazy results. But for us, I think something like 20, around 20 as we had it, was perfect. And then we'll click OK because we like it. And because we made that as a smart object, we can just simply click the eyeball on and off to disable and re-enable it. And then we can also just double click back on the blur gallery option on the smart object to go back in and then re-edit our blur in real time. And if you want to see what it looks like with the blur the other way, going from top down, then you can just click, drag them and rotate them, and now you've got the top blurry and the bottom blurry, which doesn't really follow the nature of kind of a natural focus on this type of shot. It's quite unnatural for it to look like that. But again, if you're using this for a creative means, then you can do whatever you like. And you can adjust the type of blur here in the blur gallery on the fly by going up to this drop down menu on the top and choosing another blur option, which we'll cover in separate videos. I'll do a proper video just for the blur gallery. But in this one, I just wanted to give you that quick tip to enhance the kind of depth of field and the focus of a portrait shot like this. So if that was useful, I'd really appreciate a like and a comment if you got value from this video. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks for watching.